everything is so chaotic right now. I am vlogging in real time. I'm upset because I forgot my camera at home, and today is actually a very busy day, and I figured I'd take you guys along with me. So I'm just getting off of work from my 8 to 5. If you guys have been following my journey, you know I switched from being a full-time realtor for a long time to back transitioning to a dual career agent where I work at a hotel and then I work real estate on the evenings and weekends. Well, today I have someone that is flying in from Florida, and he is basically exploring the Charlotte area, and he is wanting to basically rent for 1 year before deciding where to settle in on for home ownership. So he was here before, probably like a couple of months ago, and I gave him a lot of recommendations on where to eat, where to go. This camera quality is horrible. Where to eat, where to go, just places to check out, things to do. So he arrived earlier today, and we have a few properties lined up after work for us to go see. There's probably like 4 or 5 properties on the list. Not only am I showing him properties, but I'm doing that with my son, my 2-year-old active son. So I'm currently on the way to go get him, and then we're gonna head to the first property that is on the list for today. And I'm not gonna be done until literally like 8 o'clock tonight because of how far the homes are from each other. So I just want to get up here and give a little intro for that, because you guys are going to be coming along with me for the chaos. Y'all, I'm about to zoom through this house and catch y'all up real quick. So I just got off the phone actually with another real estate agent because some things are in the works. But nevertheless, I'm at the first property. Our first showing was scheduled for 6 o'clock. The client is stating that he won't be here until 6:22 because of traffic. But I do want to show y'all the property. Like, we are running a tight schedule. I stopped by Zaxby's to get my son some French fries, and then he had a banana and a juice and all of that. Hold on. But yeah, he's in a car, but I'm gonna get him out so he can like run around and stuff before we actually start touring. But let me show y'all this little rental real quick. So this is a neighborhood, very nice. It's very clean, very nicely maintained. I can tell that like people keep up with their properties. And one thing that I always like in neighborhoods is, of course, sidewalks and clean streets, but also I love that there are no cars on the street. It's kind of a pain when you have company, but in all, it looks better. It truly looks better. And then this is the house that we are going to be taking a look at. It does have a 2-car garage. If I'm being quite honest, I don't know how many bedrooms and bathrooms because it's just been that long of a day. Sometimes there's going to be days where all you can do is book the showing, and I really need to turn some lights on. There's going to be days where you only have time to book the showing and you don't have a lot of time to do a lot of research prior to showings because things are so on demand. It's so on the fly. This is a big space, but it looks really nice. Let's see what the backyard looks like. Okay, little patio slab, and it backs up to this retainer wall. Everything is neat back here. They got privacy fences, so I'm pretty sure this community is not all rentals. There's probably also homeowners. Hold on, let me wipe my camera. There's still a glare. I don't know why it's that glare. And then let me turn the light on over here. Y'all, showing, this is like an open space. There's no light, but there's a bathroom. Like, it's a little half bath, and then it's like this extra space. That's actually really nice. Y'all, I am currently waiting for the renter to show up, and my camera cut off because my phone is basically running out of storage, and so it just stopped straight up recording. All these little twisties are hanging out. But y'all, look at this guy. What do you got to say for yourself? Trying to entertain a 2-year-old while you wait for over 20 minutes for a client is diabolical. But let me show you guys the rest of the property because it's just chaos right now. Just chaos. Oh my goodness. But yeah, these lights are glaring. But basically down here, I was saying this is a lot of room. And there's no door to this area. And it doesn't have a light. But it's basically like an additional room and space with that half bath. So I was like, okay. But yeah, let's go upstairs. They got a little coat closet. But let's go upstairs and see what this is looking like. But yeah, I had like 5 properties on a list for us to go see today. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I don't think we're going to be able to do all that in this traffic. So this is like a little landing area where you have all of the bedrooms on this floor. And it looks like it's 1, 2, 3 rooms. So this is going to be the owner's room. What is up with this property not having no lights? Y'all, there are no lights. By the time he's going to be here, it's going to be dark. This is a really nice home. They got shower tub combo. Oh my gosh, look at this walk-in closet. This is huge. And they got a little toilet room. He want to get in the bath. You want to get in the bath? I cannot. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The life of being a real estate agent with young kids. This is the life. Sometimes you're not going to have somebody to watch them kids, but you still got to show houses. This house got some really big closets, though.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, C, K, L, M, N, O.
And then you come over here, and this is the 3rd bedroom on this level. All of the rooms are big, which is nice. And oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. These closets go crazy. They got a little washroom. And then another little landing space. It's like a smaller loft. Oh, so there's a 4th bedroom on this side. This is probably the smallest. Again, no lights. So I guess you would have to do lamps. And this is also the smallest closet. But we just got done with that showing. That property was cool. He liked it. I liked it. Bryson liked it. Right, Bryson? Y'all, this is a hot ghetto mess. Having kids and trying to show properties. But we're on the way to the second home. And then I think we have like 2 more. And we're going to wrap this thing up. My camera is horrible, y'all. This glare is not it. So I'm just leaving the second property. I didn't even get a chance to show y'all that property because that property was at the bottom of the barrel. It was not maintained good. We literally walked in, walked out. So that's that. We're going to the 3rd property now. We'll be there in 24 minutes. Oh, here's another good hack, because you do get questions from like prospective renters, buyers, whatever, when you're at the property. So a lot of times you shouldn't do this, but I do this. But you shouldn't do this. So I don't even know why I'm telling you that I do this, because you shouldn't follow my footsteps. But a lot of times, because you are getting questions from buyers and renters about the property, if I have back-to-back showings and it's like absolutely chaos, I will, on my drive to the next property, like look up all the property information about that property so I can be prepared for that showing, if that makes sense. So like, because I know I got a 20-minute drive until I get to the next property, I would essentially look up all of the property details before I actually show up, so I know what the heck I'm talking about. She gonna make sure I survive. She gonna just got to this property. Neighborhood looks nice for the most part. I don't really like this area though. Y'all, today is Thursday and I am currently stuck in traffic, but I kind of left y'all hanging last night. I ain't gonna lie, because it got dark real fast after I showed y'all that house. When I tell you it got dark so fast, and we were actually supposed to go drive 31 minutes to go see one more house, but no, it was too much going on. Like, me having my son, he was so active, so full of energy. It was too much. It was too much. And we had seen all we needed to see. So we was like, okay, well, since we didn't get to see that property yesterday, we would just see it today, right? So I had booked the showing for today at 6:30. It was going to be the same situation. I was going to have to go pick up my youngest son, but actually today I was going to drop him off at home and then head to the showing. Well, in the midst of doing all of that, when I was on the way to go get my youngest today, he texted me because he rode by the neighborhood and he was like, it's a no-go. So I was like, okay, bet. So basically from this visit, he has his top 3 properties, but we're just trying to figure out at the time which of them is going to really work for him and his family long term, because he has a commercial vehicle. And if y'all know anything about real estate, some of these neighborhoods do not be allowing commercial vehicles. So sometimes they just don't allow it. Like, they don't even allow for it to be seen in a driveway. And a lot of these commercial vehicles don't have the clearance for it to be parked in the garage. So that's something that I'm going to be helping him. Sorry, y'all. I told y'all I'm stuck in traffic. Like, I'm literally like stuck. But that is something that I told him that I was going to help him out with. But I didn't want to leave y'all hanging. So yeah, that's how that all went. I'm just going to end this video out here with some tips on if you are looking to work with renters, because typically I don't work with renters. When I first got started in real estate, I did help quite a few people find a home to rent. But after a while, me personally, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And there was a lot of mistakes that I made early on in my career where if I was to do rentals ever again, it would go totally different. So let me give y'all a game real quick on working with renters. The first thing that you need to do, hold on, this seatbelt is like, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me because Bryson, Bright, Bryson, why are you doing that? That is not funny. Oh my goodness. Y'all, he gonna give me a headache. I'm so ready to get home. I feel like I need a glass of wine. I think I'm gonna stop by the gas station and get me a glass of wine. I'm feeling delirious this week, like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But let me just end this video real quick so I can say what I need to say and get on about my day and give y'all some tips for working with renters. So the very first thing, always pull out that rental contract. Just like you have buyer agency contracts to solidify that agent-client relationship, you also need to have renter contracts to secure that tenant agency relationship. I actually can make a whole nother video on this because there are so many things. So have your contracts in place. Working with real estate agent documents, tenancy document, whatever that needs to be. On that document, that is where you're going to specify if you charge for your services, like for what your fees are going to be. And with my firm, I don't even know if I'm be able to talk to y'all because he every time I try to talk, this is why I don't be vlogging at home like that, because my kids be so loud, y'all. Bryson, can mommy talk? Can you shh? Yes, shh. Just for a little bit. Shh. Be quiet. But on that contract, you can specify how much you charge for your services. So if you want to charge, like I know people in Dallas, Texas, they be getting paid bank from lease agreements, like thousands of dollars for a freaking lease agreement. But you can charge whatever you want to charge. You set your rates. You have them pay you a retainer fee for even getting the service started. But even before that point, even before they become your client, early on in my career, this is what I experienced, and these are the mistakes that I made, which is why I'm like telling you about this so you don't make the same mistakes. But I was not pre-qualifying renters. I didn't know how to. I didn't know what questions to ask. And so essentially, when you are pricing, y'all, I'm gonna pick this video back up when I could be more focused. I'll come back. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Grab you some popcorn. Grab you a cup of coffee, something. Me, I'm about to grab a daggone drink or wine or something, and I'll come back to this conversation. Okay, I'm home, but my husband and my other son will be home so soon. So I'm about to go ahead and try to wrap up this video because it's just chaos around here. It's honestly just chaos. But I did not do a good job like pre-qualifying when I first got started with rentals. And so I would highly recommend you to pre-qualify them. And how do you pre-qualify a rental, right? You have to look at what most apartment complexes or what most property management companies are looking for. Usually, they're looking for the renter to make 2.5 or 3 times, sometimes even 3.2 times the rent amount. So, with that being said, you really need to know like their annual income so you can figure out if they would even qualify for the homes that you are sending them and figure out like the highest rent that they will be able to afford or lowest rent or whatever. Next, you want to look at, okay, what credit score do they have? Because a lot of these companies, they are going to require like a 600 plus, 620. Sometimes the owners are a little bit more stringent. They may require you to have a 650 credit score. So you need to know or find out a way where you can have access to like their credit. I know they just introduced something on our MLS called Rental Beast, where I think it kind of can pull those items and even like background history and things of that nature in terms of like evictions, because a lot of times also places don't want renters to have evictions on their records. That's not all places, but most. And then the other big factor is just making sure that they have their documents in place, such as their W-2s, tax returns if they're self-employed, pay stubs, things like that. And then you also want to make sure that they're deposit ready. So a copy of the bank statement showing that they can actually afford the deposit, which is sometimes 1 month of rent or sometimes 2 months of rent, depending on their credit score and several factors. So the pre-qualifying stage is the biggest mistake that I say I made when I first started like working with renters. And if I ever decided to do that again, I would have a professional process in place to verify all of those things to make sure that they're good. Because similar to home buying, we do the same thing. We want to make sure that those buyers are pre-approved before we start taking them around the world to see the properties. They fall in love and then come to find out they can't even afford it, or something is on their report that should have been that you should have known about, and now they can't even get the home. Similar with rentals, you want to make sure that everything is in place, intact, the financial part, before you start shopping. And then the other recommendation I would have outside of getting a retainer fee is also, I don't know, like me personally, again, the juice is not worth the squeeze. And a lot of the rental companies and leasing companies in this area pay like $125 or $250, like 10% of the actual lease amount. And so for that reason, like you could be driving around all day to get paid $150, $200, and y'all know gas is expensive. And so it's like about time you really look at your net. You only get paid a couple of bucks, which is okay, but it's also like, I don't know, I just felt like it's a better use of time unless you're charging like a higher retainer fee. So that would be the only thing with that. And yeah, but oh, to my point, what I was trying to say, because the rest of the Brady Bunch is home, what I was trying to say is that if you are going to like work with renters, maybe like you have a package, because it's your business, you can do with it how you please. But maybe you have a package for, hey, for $200, this is going to get you access to your top 5 properties. And for $500, you get to view 10 properties. And for $500, you have, the ability to apply, tour 20 properties. Should you be touring 20 properties? No, but some people just, child, I don't know. But yeah, I would just have more processes in place, like a place to direct them to fill in that basic information and a place to verify the information that they fill in is indeed accurate with whatever platform you use. So that's the only thing that I would say about that. But as of now, that was when I first started. I didn't have kids. Was I even married? I was married, but I didn't have kids, and that's like a large thing. And so now I just kind of go after the bigger, what do you call it, the bigger ones. But this person in specifically, we had already built that relationship and we had already started the process a long time ago, and so this was just like me trying to help, versus like this being a thing, because it's not a thing for me. But there are agents out here, and if you aren't going to do rentals and you just want to focus primarily on residential buying and selling, still have resources in place. Like I have so many resources for people who are looking to rent. I have people who I know can help them, so not leaving them like off in the desert, but like still providing a place that they can go to get the same help that they need. So I know a few companies in my area as well as some agents in my area who can assist with this so that you can still be like a resource. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I apologize for the video quality in the beginning of the video. I had forgot my camera, and yeah, and my husband is home. So but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end out this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Sometimes it's soft as a misty rain that gently touches my soul.